Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Had to pick up Sweet Lady, just got here, and she sent me a text and said, sorry, it's going to be 30 more minutes. So the good news is, it gives me time to make a video. Just going to cover a lot of the top headlines. Patrick Ewing, Jerry Sloan, what Trump said about opening churches. But I'm actually going to start right here, because this was just brought to my attention today. There's going to be a global vaccine summit in London beginning June 3rd and lasting 2 days, ending on June 4th, 2020. And what's really interesting about this summit is a number of things. Notice in Gematria, Global Vaccine Summit equals 201. And it turns out this isn't the first of these events. But recall in October 18th, 2019, there was Event 201, the coronavirus outbreak simulation, where part of that simulation was how would they respond, how would they come about a vaccine, and how would they distribute that to the world. So now, the Global Vaccine Summit in London, what's interesting about it beginning June 3rd is that in a leap year, that's the 155th day of the year. Coronavirus equals 155. Remember, one of the other pandemic exercises was Clade X, which took place May 15th, 15/5, like 155. It's done by the same people who did Event 201. Another pandemic exercise was Crimson Contagion, which happened 155 days before the first case of coronavirus supposedly arrived in the U.S., January 15th. As for the date it ends, June 4th, that's the day leaving 210 days left in the year. Wuhan coronavirus is 210. And it says on their website for this that the event will raise at least $7.4 billion. At least $7.4 billion? I wonder how they picked that number. Remember, Event 201 was on the day leaving 74 days left in the year. This event's in London, which equals 74, like Masonic, like a cult. The number of the cabal, 74. If you're new here, might be new to you, but you've been around, you know how often they use the number 74 ritualistically. Big calling number of the occult. So they say the event will raise at least $7.4 billion in London. London 74, English 74, Gematria 74. They're also saying that the United Kingdom has donated £330 million for the event. That's funny because England equals 33 in Gematria. London's divided into 33 areas. And if you count the span of days from October 18th, when Event 201 was, to June 3rd, is a span of 33 weeks. If you count days later, the event ends June 4th, which is also 33 weeks after Event 201 took place for another 33. And moving on, Patrick Ewing, who played at the Jesuit University Georgetown and who now coaches at Georgetown, has supposedly come down with the coronavirus. Remember, Anthony Fauci, the Jesuit, said on January 10th, 2017 at Georgetown that there would be a pandemic under Trump, and there would be a surprise outbreak. And he guaranteed it. He was totally sure. And remember, this is all about the Jesuits. That 201 is a Jesuit number. The Jesuit order equals 201. Ignatius of Loyola is 201. The name of the Pope, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, is 201. He's the first publicly Jesuit Pope, so on and so forth. But what's funny about Ewing having this announcement today is he's 57 years old, which they mentioned in the story. Remember, Georgetown equals 57, Scottish Rite equals 57. If you just use the alphabetic order, the name George is 57. Georgetown was established in 1789, the same year George Washington became the president at age 57. George Washington, the Scottish Rite Freemason. And of course, the Scottish Rite and the Jesuits, they share mottos, they share the city of Washington. So Ewing at age 57 comes down with the old corona, and as we've talked about before, Patrick Ewing equals 71 like Catholic. Georgetown's a Jesuit, which means it's a Catholic school. Don't forget, basketball was suspended this year on March 11th, the day the pandemic was declared, college and pro. And March 11th was the 71st day of the year. Now this basketball Jesuit star comes down with the old corona. And from the basketball games being suspended on the 71st day of the year to today's news, May 22nd, is 72 days later. Jesuit order is 72. It's also 75 days to Ewing's upcoming birthday. 75, the reflection of 57, but Catholic Church also 57. For another 201, shout out to Edward. He tipped me off to this. He was at the hospital, and he noticed the ventilators there were called iVent 201s. Notice how coronavirus and ventilators have the exact same gematria in 3 out of the 4 ciphers. The name iVent equals 70 like coronavirus as well. And these are built by General Electric, company that's partly owned by the Catholic Church, having that familiar gematria of 74, reminding that event 201 left 74 days left in the year. Then you got Jesuit puppet Donald Trump, who went to the Jesuit Fordham University in 1964, 56 years before this agenda, where coronavirus equals 56, Anthony Fauci 56, toilet paper 56, toilet bowl 56, mind control 56, Washington, D.C. 56, Jesuit land, and of course Society of Jesus equals 56, which is the official name of the Jesuits. Just like Andrew Cuomo, the New York governor's number 56, Jesuit, educated at Fordham. California Governor Newsom, he's Jesuit, said 56% of California will have coronavirus in 8 weeks, which is 56 days. Anyway, a lot of people think Trump's not a Jesuit puppet. He absolutely is. It couldn't be any more clear. You got to be a brain-dead idiot to think otherwise. And with regards to him saying he wants to do this today, May 22nd, 20, date with 47 numerology. Vatican equals 47, Christian 47, Francis 47, as in Pope Francis, Trump 47, President 47, White House 47, Government 47, Authority 47, D.C. 47. Don't forget Trump was in the 47-story Midtown Hilton Hotel the night of the rig selection. May 22nd is typically the 142nd day of the year. Christians 142, coronavirus is 142. Today's date also has 67 numerology. These orders coming straight from the Vatican, no doubt about it. Italy 67, Wuhan 67. From the day that the first case of coronavirus was confirmed in the U.S., January 21st, to today is 122 days later. Pope Francis is 122. Remember, the Jesuit motto in Latin equals 122. And from the day the pandemic was declared to today is 72 days later. Jesuit orders 72, President Trump 72. From Pope Francis's birthday to today's, this is 158th day of his age. Remember, the Jesuits were founded August 15th, 15/8, like 158. Freemasonry has that gematria 158. The Jesuits, a Masonic order. Some people contend the Jesuits are behind modern Freemasonry. It's very possible. And also today, the CDC came out with new guidelines for religious worship in light of Trump saying that, people need to be allowed to attend their religious structures. But today, the CDC comes out with their stuff. And remember, the CDC's date of establishment is July 1st, 7-1. CDC 71 like Catholic. They were established in 46. Catholic also 46, like 46 books in the Catholic Old Testament, like how JFK got killed at 46. Jesuit also 84, and Atlanta's on the 84th Meridian West. But again, just more news by the numbers. Every single thing about Trump and this coronavirus, undeniable. When he just called for the military to give out the vaccines, that was 30 days from his birthday, vaccine 30. If anybody wants to alert this man out there, David Black, professor in British Columbia, he's going to be taking on coronavirus conspiracy theorists. Look at his name, David Black 201. I'd love to debate this guy. Clean him up. No contest. Speaking of vaccine in 30, today headline, Moderna has sold nearly 30 million in stocks. Remember, I told you months ago that I thought Moderna was going to be the chosen one for the vaccine. And that was for a number of reasons, but here we are again with that 30. Vaccine 30, Corona 30. And don't forget, Moderna equals 70, like coronavirus is 70. Moderna's out of France. France, of course, 47. It's a French Freemason who laid out Washington, D.C. It's also where the Jesuits were formed, in France. The World Health Organization working on 70 vaccines. Again, Moderna 70, like coronavirus. And then they're also saying the poor southern states with high percentages of black population are about to have a sudden spike. And again, it's just like the simulation where poor people get hit the hardest after reopening too early. A lot of these southern states back open. Now they're saying a big spike's coming to the south. It's all agenda. It was all part of the Event 201 simulation. Of course, I got the new book coming, which I'd be working on right now if I wasn't sitting in the parking lot waiting for Sweet Lady. I talked about the 3 city-states earlier today in a video. You can come check out the post. Some more information. 74s, 47s all over the place. GematriaEffectNews. Did a post on the death of Pope John Paul II at age 84, just like how the Black Pope just died at age 84. Huge number with the Jesuits. How he was replaced by Ratzinger at age 78. Anyway, if you want to come check out this post, just more information. Pope John Paul II also replaced Pope John Paul I, who went to the bed on the Jesuit order's birthday and never woke up again. But same old numbers everywhere. Pope John Paul II died 46 days from his birthday. Those Catholic sacrifice numbers. But yeah, that post is there. All this stuff's in the book, by the way. Big NASCAR win yesterday. I said after Daytona, follow NASCAR and Trump because there'll be riddles all this year. Win some big money. Big Al made nearly $1,000 last night off the race. And the race, it was NASCAR's first race since closing down due to coronavirus. Notice they had their first race on the 142nd day of the year. Coronavirus equals 142, just like the NBA suspended play on the 142nd day of the season. But the NASCAR race was May 21st, 521. 521's the 98th prime. The 98 car won, driven by Chase David Wayne Briscoe, which equals 98. It was at the Darlington Raceway, which equals 98. And from the winner's birthday to the race was 159. I screwed up here with the screenshot, but from his birthday to the race was a span of 159 days, which is correct. And that matters because he drives a Ford Mustang, which equals 159. Donald Trump's 159. It was also 5 months and 7 days from his birthday. Scottish Rite, 57, 159. And on the same day, this driver drives a Ford race car. Remember, Trump opened the NASCAR season at Daytona by the numbers. But on the same day as this race, Trump was at the Ford plant not wearing a mask. And it was 25 days from Trump's birthday, and Trump and Ford are both 25. And let's see. The driver, they had him with his mask on. NASCAR's got the 56 like coronavirus as well. And just 2 days before the race, what was in the news is his daughter had died. His unborn daughter had died on the 64-44 date. You know, where kill equals 64-44, and we see these celebrity-related deaths every month on the 64-44 date. So his unborn child dies, and then he wins the big NASCAR event. Go figure. News by the numbers. Ritual sacrifice by the numbers. Jerry Sloan, who began coaching in the NBA for the 77-78 season, is dead at age 78. And he coached the Bulls, and he coached the Utah Jazz. And think about how in recent weeks there's been a lot of focus on Michael Jordan of the Bulls, his game against the Utah Jazz. And, of course, you know, the NBA was shut down due to a Utah Jazz player testing positive for coronavirus on March 11th, the day the pandemic was declared. All news by the numbers, but anyhow, Jerry Sloan dead May 22nd, 20, a date with 47 numerology. Jerry Sloan, 47, his birth name Gerald, 47. It's also a date with 67 numerology, the blood sacrifice number. He died on his 56th day of his age, Society of Jesus, 56. He died at age 78, Jesuit, 78. Could be a riddle here with the NBA Finals when they bring it back. But again, find it very interesting how the two teams he coached, they've been front and center during this outbreak. The Jazz, the reason for the suspension and break, and then the Chicago Bulls and the Last Dance and all that going on right now. So rituals on top of rituals. Today, study links drug Trump touted to greater risk of death. We just talked about this the other day. Trump came out and said he was taking hydroxychloroquine 118 days after his birthday, and 118 is the number of death. So we'll see if he becomes the 9th president to die in office. It's not out of the question. And this story today comes 72 days after the pandemic was declared. Heart attack equals 72. And the thing is that they're saying that the reason people are dying more who are using this drug is because it causes the heart to speed up, which is causing heart attacks. So the riddle fits. Today also leaves 223 days left in the year. Novel coronavirus 223. And post on the establishment of Georgetown by John Carroll while he was 54 years old. John Carroll, 54, like Jesuit order. And a lot of information here if you want to come check it out. Turns out we've been talking a lot about 1968, the year coronavirus was coined, the year the 9/11 plan went into motion. It's also the year that supposedly the first HIV case was discovered, 1968. A man named Robert Rayford. And come read that post. Again, this is all stuff that I'm putting in the book just to make the agenda all the more clear and who's behind it. Dr. Fauci yesterday was big on the Moderna vaccine as well. And let me see. Oh man, you guys got to come check out this. You guys got to watch the movie Demolition Man. Just, the same numbers everywhere. You got a red cross with a 47 in the background as they arrest Wesley Snipes' character, Simon Phoenix, who they say rises from the ashes. Again, that's the one of the mottos that's important to the Masonic Cabal, the Order of the Quest, whose symbol is the phoenix, always rising from the ashes. But this movie just full of the numbers, 47, 74.
Not bad for a 74-year-old. Simon Phoenix knows he has some competition.
I don't know if you can hear that. It might not be loud enough, but she says to him, not bad for a 74-year-old. And then later, Dennis Leary says he doesn't want to be a 47-year-old virgin. And this movie's set in the future city of San Angeles, a merger of San Diego and Los Angeles, San Angeles 56. There's no toilet paper in this future world. They wipe their ass with the 3 seashells, which is another 56, like toilet bowl and toilet paper. And the guy who's in control of San Angeles, he dresses a lot like a figure of the church, like a pope. His name's Dr. Raymond Cocteau, 72, like Jesuit order. Raymond Cocteau, also 158. We were just talking about that with Pope Francis today, it being his 158th day of his age. So, yesterday they had the herd immunity results in Sweden. Perfect day for the news. It was a date with 66 numerology. Herd immunity, 66 like corona. When Rambo gave us the lesson on the doo-doo riddle, it's weird that same day in the news, Nancy Pelosi said Trump's like a child with doggy doo on his shoes. There's a lot of things about this story that jump out numbers-wise. And notice the emphasized phrase, doggy do on his shoes equals 263, which is the 56th prime. And she said this on her 56th day of her age. And her birthday is March 26, 26/3. And she's Catholic educated, likely has Jesuits in the family. And we've seen a lot of these riddles with 263 and 56. And it's funny that on this same day, I don't think Rambo was aware of this story, but Rambo gave us the presentation Wednesday night about this exact subject, the doo-doo riddles with coronavirus and toilet paper. Fox News just emphasized doggy-doo, which equals 47, like confabulator, which she called him. And I see sweet ladies here, so you know what? We'll wrap it up, Truth Seeker. Till next time.